Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing well. Today I have a Todd Begg full custom bodega to show you. It's going to be a nice and short video, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the knife and also about Todd Begg himself. So to start off, Todd Begg um, has done very few full custom bodegas out there. I believe it's one of the rarest models that he's made in full customs, because if you look at the field marshals, the glimpse models, and the Quakens, there are a few out there, but when it comes to the bodega, also his most popular model, the funny thing is the full custom pieces, which are made by hand by Todd himself. I think there's less than 10 of these out there, and they are really, really hard to find. And, I have a beautiful example to show you right here, and to show you what it's all about. Um, and chances are those of you who are clicking on the video are also already followers on my Instagram, so you're avid knife collectors, or enthusiasts. And I'll just show you around the knife. So this has got a very simple, looking carbon fiber build, but very, very beautifully polished. You know, like all of his knives that have carbon fiber, the seam between the materials is basically seamless. It's really, really good. Um, Normally you can probably feel a little bit of a hang up even with fingernails, but this one is perfectly done. Just beautifully fitted and polished on both sides. Nice carbon fiber inlays. The blade, I forget the name of the Damascus, um, but it is a stainless Damascus, so it's very, very nice. Love the pattern, nice and dark etched. And if you noticed, it's got actually a silver ball bearing pocket clip, which normally, in his knives these days, and even in the Midtech knives, they all have the ceramic ball bearings to signify that inside the pivot it uses the ceramic ball bearing. But because this is one of the early models, early prototypes that Todd has made, it's actually running on steel ball bearings. It's still very smooth, very nicely, it flips out nice, it's smooth to close, but I can tell that it is not as smooth as the ceramic. The difference is not, it's subtle, but you can definitely tell that it's a different feeling. It's not the glass smooth feeling, it's more like a buttery smooth feeling when you go with the steel versus a ceramic ball bearing, at least on Todd's knives. And just to dig a little bit into the story, and I know that you know makers or video reviewers like Jim Skelton has mentioned this many, many times, but there is a difference between Todd Begg knives and Todd Begg himself. Actually, um, let me say that again. There's a difference between Begg knives and Todd Begg knives. So, about, I forget which year, maybe 2015 or 2016. Before that, Todd was doing Todd Begg knives with his brother Mark and his brother's partner Mattia on Todd Begg knives. And Todd, of course, was responsible for doing the design of the knife, training of the people, of the employees, to make the beautiful knives that he makes. But with CNC, but Todd uses no CNC on his own customs. Um, but basically, Todd is on the production side of things, making sure all the knives are done, fitted, finished perfectly. And Mark and Mattia are more like business people, more marketing, and they know a lot of people who to contact, who they should do collaborations with, etc. So they're more of the ideas men. But unfortunately, they had a fallout, and it did not go well. And now the two entities are quite separate. So Mark and Mattia own the name Begg Knives USA, which when you Google Todd Begg Knives, even when you Google Todd Begg Knives, the website Begg Knives will come up first, just because of how many people used to go there. And these days, as of today in 2021 October, they no longer make their own knives because they don't have that capability anymore. When Todd left the business, that was that capability is basically gone. um, and that it's kind of obvious why, even though Todd trained some of those people there. um, I don't want to get into the details. It's not my place to say anything, but you can ask Todd, if you want to know more about what happened back then. But basically, when employees started leaving and they couldn't pay for the rent, um, you know, that all went downhill, which is a big shame, to see the business go down like that. In any case, coming back to the knives, today Todd is coming back and doing his own full customs alone in Texas. And if you notice his knives, with the exception of this one, maybe it's marked somewhere, but I can't find it yet. Normally it should be marked in the frame, but it should say Todd Begg USA. Normally it says it on the blade, Todd Begg USA, um, which signifies a full custom. Almost 100% correct, because there are some Midtechs out there which do have the insignia Todd Begg USA, but it's one of the early production prototypes, um, which are I think maybe there are like 20 of them out there, so they're not a lot. But basically, you're almost guaranteed that when you see a marking that says Todd Begg USA, that is Todd's own full customs. Anything otherwise, Begg knives or Steelcraft series, those are mid-techs or production knives. So the level of finish work and quality would not be as nice. I know that since Todd left, Mark, when the capability was still there, Mark and Mattia really pushed the Bodega and the Glimpse series out there, and the Bugatti series, trying to replicate as close as possible Todd's full customs, which is kind of a shame actually, because I remember that before Todd left, those knives had more basic inlays, and they were quite easy for people to separate visually between like a really crazy full custom and a mid-tech knife. But after Todd left, Mark and Mattia just used as many materials as possible. I actually own one of those, and the quality is great, but not as good as the full customs. But I just wanted to let people out there know that because many people think that when they have one of those knives that it's a full custom, Actually, it's not. It's a Midtech knife made on a CNC and not by Todd. It's just a little PSA out there. They're still great knives, but if you're looking for something that's absolutely perfect, as in Todd's own handwork, that you're not getting that. That's just a little bit of a false advertising from the guys in California, but you know. Anyways, coming back um, to the knife and to today, I did have quite a bit of rambling, and to be honest, most of the stories that I've heard are are from Todd's side. So I can imagine if you ask Mark about what he thinks happened between them in the business, you'll get another point of view. Um, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and Todd, after spending so much time with him, talking with him about his full customs, his knives, his career, started off. Um, he super hardworking guy, very very dedicated, and he won't give up until it's done properly, it's done correctly, and he's a real trooper. Todd is a very honest guy, very straightforward, and he's a joy to talk to. He really, if you're into knives and you're willing to spend time talking with Todd, he's gonna give you a lot of great information on how knives are made and how to do things properly. You can really tell he has passion for knives, and that's what I love when talking with Todd. Um, he's such a in my eyes, he's one of these legends that really made the knife game different and very very popular. One of the big catalysts of making that happen. His design, like the Bodega, it still looks very futuristic, even though it's been designed over 10 years ago. Um, and there's so many signatures of his that many people won't know, such as the ball bearing clip that's used to make it easy to slide in and out of the pocket. A lot of companies use it nowadays, and not all of them credit Todd, but this is where it came from. These lovely grooves and I guess fullers, and the blood groove. This is also Todd's own design. The alternating hole sizes is Todd's own design. There's just so many signatures. Oh, and the ice cracked, finish is also his own signature. And the way that the lock bar is made, you can technically screw it in and out, so you can replace the lock bar if this one wears out. Very very cool. This is one of a great history piece, and Todd, he is extremely busy, so if you want to get something done from him, it's gonna take years, because he is that type of person who needs to make things perfect, and it takes a long long time. um, but as a person, if you're patient enough, highly highly recommend you own one of Todd's knives. And yeah, I mean, if you have any other questions or comments, you can just leave it in the comment section, and I'll try to reply to them as soon as I see it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry I went on a little bit of a rambling, but yeah, I just wanted to show you the knife. Thanks for watching.